Hey guys, welcome back to Trade or Die. So we're gonna continue going through each week, and I'm just, I'm gonna pretty much backtest my strategy on, the history. I'm gonna try to use as much discretion as I can and really just see if I can repeat this in the real market once next month rolls around. I'm gonna be going through the funded challenge through trade day, the $150,000 account. So let's get started. We're going to be doing September the 25th to the 29th. And again, as far as the strategy goes, we're going to be waiting for a break in structure on the 5-minute. We're going to check the previous candle size on the pullback. It has to be a minimum $8. Secondly, there should be the wick on the pullback candle can be longer than the candle beforehand. And then lastly, we trade in the direction of the trend unless we're breaking minor structure and there's a great opportunity. So let's get into it. September the 25th. So now we're into the 25th, and then we're always going to start our day at 7 o'clock. That's the time I plan to wake up. Well, really 6:30, get my breakfast ready, wake up, do whatever else. So 7 o'clock, we see we're back at a minor resistance. There's a nice pullback here. However, wick is way too damn long. So we wait. We notice we're on our way down anyway, and we have a perfect entry right here. So on this entry, boom, profitable. This is great. We have a second entry down here as well too, and we're taking it because again, price moves down, breaks, and then entry. I'm thinking about over here as well too, if I should really enter. It's a tough choice because nothing minor exactly broke. I would consider this the next minor, and also this. Over here, the only thing that I can use to back me up right now is that we came to resistance a second time and we couldn't break it or close above it, so we got to go down. So of course we're betting on that. So there's a third entry as well too over here, which of course stops me out. One thing to note is that the wick is a bit longer here as well as over here too. When you have a nice big body on the pullback, we don't really have to worry about the wick. It's when the body is smaller, that's when we really do have to worry about it. For here too though, another thing too is that depending on how big the auto break even is, it might even just hit auto break even. So this may not actually be a loss per se. So since we're looking for sells, we're always going to keep that kind of state of mind. So now price comes down, we come back up, we kind of break a minor over here, but we don't break these minors, so we continue up. Price closes above the minor and we have a pullback. On this candle, this wick is probably too big, so we'll leave it alone. Price comes back down and we have a nice little pullback, but now the wick is too long. We're also at a low as well too. So we don't take this trade since the wick is too long and the body's too short. So let's continue through the session and see where else we could take some trades. So now we get into 9:30 and price is still moving up. Then we break minor resistance here. Long wick, price shoots down. We get a pullback, but the pullback is way too big. Price continues down. Back up, nice little pullback here. However, the wicks are too long on each side of the pullback, so we leave it. Price comes back up, back down, and then pushes up, and we make a new high and we break resistance. So now in this case, we definitely want to look for buys. By 11:30, price pulls down 50% way of that last push, and we have a pullback here, but again, wick is too long. So we leave it, we stay out of it. Price comes up, we have a nice pullback here. I may actually take this type of trade. It's a tough trade to take, especially because the stop loss isn't below the last low, but again, that's completely fine. So we take it and we lose it, no worries. So we continue, boom. We have a nice pullback here, but the body is probably too small, 25 to 30. Yeah, body's too small, so we leave it alone. Price comes down to 1 o'clock, pushes back up. We have a pullback, but the body's too short, comes back down, then back up, and we don't really see any more pullbacks that we can take. There's a nice pullback here, however, you know, we're in a mode of buying, so let's not actually get into that. By 3 o'clock, we make a low, we break minor support here, and we're in no man's land, and then price pushes up again and we get a decent pullback here. Issue with this is the wick is a bit too long for my liking, but let's say we did take it, I think it would still be a loss. I don't plan to take this type of trade, but you know, you can see still a loss and price continues moving up, so let's stay out of it for now. I'll probably factor it in once we tally our stuff up, because maybe, you know, I do want to take a type of trade like this, but you got to be worried about that stop loss. Price pulls back over here a couple times, push, pull back, but the body is way too big, so we wouldn't take it anyway, but it would be profitable. That's the crazy thing, especially off of the second pullback. The key here is that the structure, it's a structure that's really riding this, because there was support that was built here at the minor resistance, and then it just shot up. But by this time it's 4 o'clock and we're into the new day, so we have 2 W's and 1 loss, or 2 losses, 1 here and 1 there. So let's continue and go into September 26th. So now we're in the 26th and we're going to start at 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock comes, boom. We have a nice little pullback, but again, wick is too long, especially relative to the body of the pullback, so we don't get into this. If you do want to get into it early, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just there's less confirms, right? So that's one thing to really be worried about. So price pushes up again, back down. We meet the minor resistance, it now becomes a support. Price pushes up again, another pullback, price pushes up, and then boom, we break structure, we break minor here, and then we also break minor over here, and this is our first good pullback. There is a little wick here, however it's really tiny relative to the body, so we will take this trade. Price goes down, hits TP, great, and then it gives us another opportunity here. Over here the wick is definitely way too long, so let's say if we were to take this, we wouldn't lose, we'd probably get the W, but let's keep it out just because it doesn't fit the criteria too well on these pullbacks. So price does that, continues down, get a nice little pullback over here. However, the wicks are again too long, right? For me personally, I wouldn't know or feel comfortable, you know, entering this, because the bodies are, number one, they're the exact same size, so it's almost like a consolidation. I have no issue changing consolidations. However, you know, when you do have wicks that are like this, it's very tough to make that trade. So I'm going to decide to stay out of this. Boom, price comes back up, breaks resistance, does a pullback, but it's not exactly the greatest pullback because the body is too big. Price comes down, and then we get our nice little pullback over here. So we'll take this trade, and I think, is this a dub? I feel like this is a loss. Oh no, it wouldn't have touched, and that's completely fine, completely fine. So I'll take this dub, whatever. And then no, we wouldn't take this trade either. Candle's too small, and also the wick is too long. So price continues down, pushes up, down, up over here. Wick is too long on the pullback, and also the body is the same as the previous candle, so we leave it alone. And then we get into 12 or 30. We get a nice pullback here, and I think I would actually take this. We take this, and looks like it is a loss, and that's completely fine. So we get into 2 o'clock and price pulls down, and we break minor support. Price pulls back up to tap it, back down, and then up again. We have a nice little pullback here, but again, the wicks are too long, so we leave it be. Price continues pushing down. We get a pullback right here, and we enter. Now it's 3:30, and price comes back down. It pulls up. We haven't broken any structure, so maybe we wait. And this trade wouldn't be bad either. Like if we just take a look at it, this would have almost been stopped out. Let me bring it up. Yeah, we'd almost be stopped out of this for sure. But I wouldn't take this trade. We're approaching 4 o'clock. Price is pulling back up, and we'd expect to see sells, right? Like just given how crazy it's been. I know structure broke over here and we took buys, but that's because structure actually broke, right? If this trade was any better, it would have been a buy as well too. Like if this wick wasn't as long, it probably would have been a buy. But anyway, let's continue through the session. So for the 26th, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 trades, 2 dubs, a loss, and a dub. So 3 dubs and a loss. Now let's get into the 26th. Or sorry, 27th. Now let's get into the 27th. We'll get to 7 o'clock. So now 7 o'clock, we look like we're just ranging in between these prices, and that's completely fine. So 7 o'clock, we have our first pullback over here, but how big is the body? 56 to 67. That's about $9. This one would be a tough one to take, but like, let's say we do take it, because like we're expecting price to move up, right? Because there's still like a little range up here, but it doesn't work, and we hit stop loss. Completely fine. Price moves down here, we get a break in structure, so we take the sells, and again we're stopped out. Price comes back up, we break minor resistance, but now this wick is too long, so we leave it be. Price starts to consolidate before pushing up again and coming back down, and then we have a nice push up and a pullback, but again with this pullback, wick is too long, so we leave it be. Now we have a nice pullback here, but no structure is breaking, so again with this we leave it be. In addition to that, the wicks on the top and bottom are too long, especially relative to the body, and it's also longer than the candle right here too, so we leave it be. Price comes back down here, and now we break minor, and we have a decent trade setup, but we lose, and that's completely fine, right? We're looking for sells since we're breaking all of this structure here, right? Price pulls up, pushes down, and we get a nice pullback, but now again, same issue. The wicks are too long, and the body is too equal to the one to the left here, this bear candle. if we did take it, we definitely win. However, you know, it's not in the setup. So again, we'll leave it as is. We'll leave it as is. So now we get into 12 o'clock. Price is still pushing down. 12:30, pushing down. We have a minor pull up at 1 o'clock before plunging down again, and then we get our first good setup here, and we take our sells, and we recover from any losses from the morning. And then right after this, by 2:30, price pushes up. We have a little pullback here, push again, pullback. But again, on both of these trades, the wick is too long. It's too long, so we don't do anything. Nice pullback over here, but again, we'll be looking for buys, right? We're in a buy. We're in a buy type of environment. So the sells off again. We break the support here and here, and now we have a decent pullback right here. Truthfully, I don't think I would take this, but just for the sake of this experiment, let's say I do take it, and now we're at 3 losses today, and that's, you know, it's fine. It is what it is. So now we get into, well, this is 3:30, and then 3:45. This is around 4 o'clock. So are we taking trades at that time? Truthfully, probably not. I know I took a trade over here at 3 o'clock, but we were already done way before 45, right? So let's actually take that last trade out, just for the sake of taking it out, and we'll continue going with this session. So now we're gonna get into the 27th. Okay, so now we're in the 28th. So now we're in the 28th, 7 o'clock. Price is moving down. We don't get any decent pullbacks. Price comes back up. Great pullback here, but the body's probably too small. So 38, 29 to 38. Oh, that's not bad. But again, this wick is probably too big, so we stay out of it. Price pushes up. We make a new high, get a great pullback here, and then we take the trade. I would take this trade, no lie. I'll take it, and I would instantly lose, and that's completely fine. So price breaks structure here. Boom, pullback. Price comes back up. Pullback. Price comes back down, and then everything in me would tell me that I'd take this trade, but you know, probably not. So price comes back down. There's a little consolidation here. Price pushes down and creates 2 long wicks before doing a nice little reversal. Over here is a tricky area to take it, not only because the wicks here are in the way, but because you know, this wick is way too long. It's way too long. We don't really like taking those trades. Even something like this too, the wick again, way too long, so we stay away. So now we continue. Price pulls down before pushing up again, right? We break structure, we get a pullback, but that's not the one. Price comes back up, pullback, and then we're good. For this one, since the wick isn't longer than the prior one like this, we definitely consider this trade. So we'll take it. We take this trade, and it's a loss, and that's completely fine, right? Sometimes, again, like I say, like, you got to use that discretion, and you may have to adjust your stop loss and double up on your TP, and that's completely fine. So let's say we have 2 L's for this session. Let's continue. So price pushes up, pullback, pushes up. We have a nice pullback here, and then boom, we get our first TP. Price does it again up here. We take the trade, and we get an L. Now price goes down, we break structure. There's a pullback, but the wick is too long, so we leave it be. Price pushes down again. We have another pullback, and the wick is definitely longer than it, so we stay out of it. If we did take it though, it would definitely be a W, but for now, let's stay out of it. It's too close, but then it's not far enough to be like insignificant, like, you know, the wicks. Let's stay out of it for now though. Price goes down, then 2:45, 3 o'clock, price starts pushing up. We break structure over here and over here. We get a nice pullback, but again, it's way too deep before we get a pullback right here. And then it's 350, and we pretty much stop trading. Like, let's say we did take this, it would be profitable, but like, do we want to risk any trades at 350? Probably not, and that's okay. That is okay. So now let's get into our last day. The 29th. Let's get to 7 o'clock real quick. Okay, so we get to 7 o'clock. Again, we're ranging a bit. Price pushes down, we break structure. There's no decent pullback, so we keep waiting. 8:30, price pushes up, and we get our first great pullback here. This is a tough one, right? We take the buy, and then we're instantly stopped out. Price consolidates between 8:45 all the way to 9:50. The reason why this one is tough too, again, is because like this wick right here, right? Usually we don't have any wicks to disturb us when we're in a trade, but this time there was. But anyway, we'll take it and we'll keep it, and we'll just keep pushing on. So now by 10 o'clock, we make a new high before getting a pullback. Pullback is way too big to take a buy on this, so we leave it. And the price pushes down. We break minor support, and we get a pullback, but again, the wicks are too long. Price pushes up, get a nice pullback here. Wicks are long, however, this one is still longer than this, so we take it, and it's an L, and that's completely fine. Shit happens. And again, like I keep saying, like, discretion has to be used, right? We can't always necessarily have the same stop. The reason why I have the same stop is because I want to have the same risk for every single trade. But maybe it looks like me, you know, lowering my contract size and actually opening up my stop even more. This week has just been, you know, stop after stop, but that's perfectly fine. So let's continue. Price pulls down by 11. We have a nice big candle at 11:30, and then right after that, price plunges down and we break structure support once again. So now we're looking for pullbacks. So price comes down, we have our first pullback, but not the one we're looking for. Pullback over here, there's no minor being broken, so we leave it. Price pulls down again, and then another pullback, and then it plunges once again. And then on the second plunge, we finally get our nice pullback, take the trade, and we are profitable. And that is pretty much the entire week. Now let's tally up our trades, see how we did, see what we can do different for the auto break even and no break even, and then we'll call it a day. So let's start back at the 25th. So for the 25th, what do we got? Our first trade is a W, so 18. Second trade right here, W, 18. Third trade, loss, -9. That is completely fine. But why did it do that? Oops. Let me fix these. Okay. I wasn't supposed to do that. Okay, third trade, L, and then we had another buy over here, again, L. So 2 wins, 2 losses, and that's perfectly fine. All right, let's move into the 26th. So for 26, first trade, dub. Second trade, I'm calling this a dub. The price didn't exactly hit it, so I'm taking the dub. Third trade, a loss. And the fourth trade, dub. Now let's continue into the 27th. 27th, was this a rough day? The 27th, loss. Second trade right here was also a loss. Third trade, loss. And the last trade, W. And that's what happens sometimes. So now we continue. We'll go into the 29th. On 29th, or sorry, 28th. First trade, loss. Second trade is also a loss. Third trade, W. Last trade, loss. And again, it happens. So now we're going to go into our last day and see how we performed. Then the last day we lost 2. So L, L, -9, and then W. So overall, for the week, without auto break even, we would have been at $270 with 3 micros, and then 900 for a mini. And you know what? That's perfectly fine. I can live with that. Now let's review again, but this time we'll look at auto break even. Okay. So now, if we were to use auto break even, I would use it at 40 ticks. And then we'll see how we perform then. So on Monday, we'd still have 18, first trade, second trade. Third trade, would this be auto break even? Let's see. And we're gonna use 40 ticks. So 40 ticks. And since it goes through here, it would be auto break even. So we'll get 0. And then last trade, right here, let's see if we get auto break even. We change this to ticks. And 33. So we do not get it because that's 33. So that's -9. Now we go into Tuesday. For Tuesday, this would still be a dub, but let's just double check. Change to ticks. So nope, because that's only 36. So that's fine. So we get the dub on Tuesday. the first trade. Second trade. Let's see. Let's go 40. 40 right here. So second trade would still be good. Dub. Third trade. Would we hit TP or break even? So on the third trade, this is good because it would activate our auto break even because price came up to here before going down. So come to here, stopped out, break even, so 0. And now the last trade, 18. And then Wednesday, let's see how we do. Wednesday, 0 for auto break even. Right, because we come up here and then back down. Over here, same idea. Auto break even would save us because we get to 50 and mine would be at 40 before it pulls back, so 0. And then over here, that's just an instant loss, that's fine. And then on our last trade, W, because it instantly goes 18. Now we continue into the 28th. So now on this day, -9 instantly. Second trade right here, -9. Third trade, W, 18. Again over here, what do we get to 40? Let's see. It's the highest. Ticks. And only got to 38. So -9. And then on Friday, how would we perform? So on Friday, we would get stopped out, I think, on that first trade. But let's see. So Friday, stopped out, -9. Second trade. Ooh, instantly stopped out, -9. And then the last trade, profitable. There's no pullbacks here. 19. So overall, auto break even would again come out on top. The last 3 weeks that I did for September, auto break even has really been, keeping the account alive. In some cases, it would be almost 50% higher. It really all depends, right? I do plan to keep my auto break even. I have it at 40 ticks, so we're gonna keep experimenting with that. Next week, or no, tomorrow, I'll be working through October 1st. October 2nd to the 6th. So we'll see how we go with that. And again, I'm predicting that auto break even is gonna really keep up the account. So let's see. Thanks again for watching, guys, and keep trading.